Our first guest today, I am thrilled to introduce. He has a resume that would take me all day to read. A seaman first class in the U.S. Navy, a Russian language intelligence officer and captain in the U.S. Air Force, and most recently, a colonel in the Utah Army National Guard. Please welcome to the stage, Gil Iker.
I was assigned to the 7050th Air Intelligence Service Wing, and we were responsible for interrogation and interviewing and collecting intelligence from all human sources in the European theater of war. Germany and Austria were both still occupied. I was assigned to a squadron in Kassel, Germany, up where the Soviet zone, the British zone, and the U.S. zone came together. It was a place that was full of refugees escaping from East Germany and from German prisoners of war who had been released by the Soviet Union. I learned the business. We did interviews. We did not do interrogations. I participated or oversaw probably 1,000 of these interviews in my business over there. Then I was transferred down to the head shed, the headquarters of the unit, and given an interesting assignment to go down to Bad Tölz, Germany, where there was an outfit in the Army called the 10th Special Forces Group. We were creating a survival school. Evasion and escape was the game plan. My job was to set up a simulated Russian interrogation center. We had a number of Russian speakers. We wore Russian uniforms. We had Russian signs, Russian clocks, everything Russian. And we used Russian tactics, Russian interrogation tactics. They were disgusting. We were ashamed that any civilized country would do the things that they were doing. The captured American airmen who had not evaded the way they should have, were unsuccessful. The captured American were not fed. They were stripped naked. They were given cold showers, no blankets. We deprived them of sleep. We never turned off the lights. The things that we did, we all condemned. We said, thank God America will never do anything like that. Think about that. Put that in your memory bank. I guess I better cut this off, but I want to leave you with a couple of thoughts. We talk a lot about the Geneva Convention. The Geneva Convention is a very important part of our culture. There have been 4 of them and a few other smaller events in between. They are basically describing how we treat prisoners of war. The thing that interested me in Special Forces, one of the things that we did was start revolutions. That's basically the original mission of Special Forces. So we were training guerrillas. We were training them, prepared to train them within the Soviet Union or a variety of other places. Now, the Geneva Convention covers the treatment of guerrillas. How does a guerrilla qualify to be treated like a normal prisoner of war? He must do a few things to make the grade. Number 1, he must have a commanding officer. Number 2, he must have a rank structure, which is hierarchical in nature. He must have insignia for those ranks, and they must be discernible at a distance. And finally, he must bear arms openly. Now, if what we've got down in Guantanamo and so on are prisoners of war, by the Geneva Convention we can keep them forever. Okay, if they're not prisoners of war, do we elevate these thugs, murderers, terrorists by giving them prisoner of war status? I don't know. I think this is a nice thing that both the Republicans and Democrats, when they have a moment off from trying to slit each other's throats, could get together and decide just who it is we're fighting. We need to revise the way the Geneva Convention applies to guerrillas, because I'll tell you that the kids from Utah who went over to Afghanistan, the first thing they learned was the little old lady in the long black burqa is not necessarily a little old lady. I guess what I'm trying to tell you is that we haven't even decided who the hell we're fighting yet. And yet we're condoning torture, condoning things that are contemptible by any civilized standard. I could go on and on. I could tell you lots of stories about interrogation and how it works, and I'll leave you with one final thought. You cannot torture the truth out of anybody. It doesn't work. It's phony. And only a guy like Dick Cheney would favor it. Anyway, we need to get some unity in this country. That's where we need to go. We need to stop fighting among ourselves. We've got a serious problem in this world, lots of serious problems, and we don't even know exactly who we're fighting or why we're fighting them. We've got to get together. Democrats have got to get together with Republicans and vice versa. We did it in War II. That was our finest hour. Our worst hour, easy. 8 years of the Bush administration. That was the worst. I'm an 82-year-old reprobate, and I have to say the worst thing that ever happened to America in my lifetime was George W. Bush. Thank you.